Hello everyone, my name is Alessandro and I'm from Italy. This is my solution of the exercise Make Your Own Card into the practice set number 1 from the online course of Android-based user interface. This is not a tutorial because I feel to don't have enough experience to make a tutorial. This is just the solution that I made for this exercise. So the exercise asked for the first question of the exercise was to do a sketch to design on paper the app, the view that we wanted to make. So my idea was to split a screen in a vertical way in 4 equally distributed views. Each view has to contain an image view and a text view. I wanted to center the text view into the image, and I wanted to put in a vertical way, like a column. So 4 words, I fucking love science, and 4 different images. You can see in this drawing that I leave the space to the key bottom bar and to the upper bar that usually Android takes in some cases. So let's go back to the Android Studio, and let's see how I made this. First of all, from the moment that I wanted to put each of the 4 words centered into each of the 4 views, I had to use the relative layout and not the linear layout. I had to use the relative layout because to put a view centered relatively to the parent view, you have to use this attribute that is layout underscore centering parent and set this attribute to the value of true. Without this attribute, as you can see, you cannot put the text, a view centered to the parent view. And this attribute is not possible to use into a linear layout. So I need to make a relative layout. In each of the 4 relative layouts, actually each of the 4 relative layouts are mostly similar, just some values of some attributes are different. In each of the 4 relative layouts, I put an image view and a text view. So I attribute the value of layout width and layout height to match parent of the linear layout, and I give them an orientation vertical. It's not necessary to give the orientation vertical. The orientation vertical is necessary to give to the general view that I explain you later. For example, if you set to horizontal, you can see that the result is not the same. So let's go back and to our relative layout and continue to explain this. So after giving the attributes to the relative layout, I opened the image view and I started to give an ID. Actually, I given the ID to all image view and text view. Also, if I didn't use in the case I can have the need later on. So also here I give values to layout width and layout weight to wrap content. And this is another important value for this view, for this app. I had to scale the image to the size of the available space for each view. So for example, if I didn't use this attribute, you can see that in this case, for this image, there was still some blank space, and I don't wanted this. So I have to give this attribute scale type, and I have to give specifically the value to center crop, not center, because as you can see, if I gave the value center, the Android system zoomed the image too much. So the result was not what I desired. So let's go back. Voila. And let's go to explain the text view. Also here, I gave an ID to each of the text view, wrap content to layout width, and wrap content the same to layout height. After I choose the font family, in this case sans serif condensed, text style, I attribute the values of bold and italic to text size. Text color, I choose the text color based on the background of each image view. So in this case, I choose a red color. You can see also in the left of the scrolling bar. Actually, I choose red because it made a good contrast with the background. And for example, in the fourth view, as you can see here, I choose blue because it was because blue is easily to read with the red background. It's obviously that if I used blue here, it was not so easily to read, and if I used red here, the same. So I gave also here a background color. Also in this case is useless. I just leave in the case I need to change. Text size, I given the value of 75 sp. Text appearance. This is another attribute that is not necessary because I already gave a size to the text. Choosing the value to true for the attribute text all caps. And this is another important element. I given the attribute center in parent. And also in this case, this attribute is available only for relative layout because you give a position relatively to the position of the parent. So if I didn't use this attribute, as you can see, the text was not centered and that was not as I wanted. And the last one is the text. So this is about relative layout. Each of the four relative layouts is made the same way. As you can see, they are mostly the same, except from some values. For example, the source of the image that I put in this folder is inside the resources folder, inside the drawable folder. I put the images that I needed. There are 5, but I use 4, and the images I took on Google Image. Okay, back to the layout. Finished the relative layout. I had to put these layouts inside another layout that is linear. I had to do this to give this value, layout weight, that is possible to give only to linear layout. It's not possible to give the attribute layout weight to the relative layout. So I needed to put this view inside another parent view, linear layout view. So I given the value to match parent to the attribute layout width. I given the value to 0 to layout 8 because is already given by layout. The height of each linear layout is already given by the layout width. Is 1 for each of the 4 layout. And as you can see, if we change, for example, the width given to a particular linear layout, it changes the distribution of the layout, the 4 linear layout inside this view. And this is almost all. These are the 4 linear layouts. And for finishing, I had to put these 4 linear layouts inside another linear layout. That is the main layout of this app that was already given by the script given by default by the Android Studio app, by the Android Studio program, sorry. So this is all about my exercise. I hope that it will help you to understand how to do this. And thank you for your time, for viewing this video. And if you want to to leave a comment, you are welcome to. Goodbye.